Hi Delia, how are you? This is Inés. The first question is Delia your name? And how old are you?
Hi Inés, my name is Johnny, real name Johnny, fake music name Delia. I live in Austin, Texas. I'm 31, and I guess I am an independent music artist, recording artist, bedroom person. I came across your music, I'm not sure how or exactly when, sometime in the last 2 or 3 years, along with Vitamin C, Robbie, and just been enamored with both of y'all's catalogs ever since. So yeah, thanks for talking with me.
When did you start making music? What were your motivations?
I started making music when I found GarageBand on my computer lab computer in like maybe 4th or 5th grade here, and then I realized my dad had a MacBook, so I started making the beats on my dad's MacBook, and I think my motivation was I just wanted to make a beat that sounded as cool as In the Club by 50 Cent. Yeah, that's kind of where it all started.
Nice. What do you think is the most difficult part of making a song? What is the most fun moment? What topics do you prefer to cover when writing a song?
So for me, the hardest part about making a song is not getting caught up in decisions and just letting things flow naturally. You have a riff or an idea or something, and you see all the different ways it could go, all the different treatments you could do to it, layers, repeats, etc. Just not getting caught up in that and keeping the record button on and keeping things spontaneous. And to that end, I would say the most fun moment is when you're able to get through that and you wind up creating something fun and novel and enjoyable that simultaneously sounds like the music you like and maybe has something a little different to it as well that you feel like you invented on the spot. So yeah, those little moments are kind of what I live for and why I do it. Topics I usually go for, I try to find cool little gemstones out in the world. I have a lot of friends who are super interesting and cooler than me that give me old VHS tapes and cool books to read and other inspiring things to check out. I had a friend put me onto the sculpture of Medardo Rosso and the painting of Odilon Redon. Probably not saying either of those names correctly, but yeah, I have a cool network of people that puts me onto cool stuff. I get into it, and then I usually fixate on something and try to write about it, and try to kind of create like the sonic equivalent of whatever vibe that thing strikes me with.
Your last 2 albums express different kinds of adventures. One with song and the other with pop songs. What happened between these 2? Or did you decide to separate the songs you'd be recording into 2 albums?
So for Scared of the Dark, I was really obsessed and fixated on imagining these like Stone Age, Bronze Age cultures, like 8 or 10,000 years ago, like out on the steppes. And I don't even know if that time period is correct, but just picturing these prehistoric civilizations and the ways that they variously seem to have better craftsmanship or just familiarity with raw materials than they should, and how that boggles the mind, and their various burial sites and what they find in there, and how it speaks to them knowing more about the world and mysterious forces, than we might now understand or factor into our thinking. And then in the course of my kind of poking around on the internet, I found out about this Arzan and Arzan 2, both these sites where they had uncovered all of these wild imperial burial mounds that had, gold jewelry and different scepters and other accoutrements like that, that had, a higher degree of filigree and engineering sophistication and craftsmanship than they should have, and all of them were these cool, amazing shapes like the stag, and even just the kind of relief sculptures that they had around their other quartzite material just improved to be a very cool thing to just kind of jam on. And that album, aside from the one sort of rock song, the title track that sounds like a B-side from the soundtrack to A Man Who Fell to Earth or something like that, like David Bowie, that movie. The rest of it is just jams that I did, kind of just picturing these wild, like almost ancient aliens scenes out in Siberia or Kyrgyzstan or wherever that is now. On the other hand, all of that material from Path of the Feather was variously inspired, mostly by super obscure stuff, or hopefully less obscure now that people have found it on YouTube, since I was finding that stuff myself. I can just say the concept was to make kind of darker, like Scritti Politti music almost. Some touchstones for that period of writing were the self-titled by a band called Scudo Crow, 1985, Italy, small imprint called Kindergarten Records, Tatsu by Nastya, recorded in the Soviet Union in 1987 by a group of college students, probably breaking some rules to get that made and manufactured, I would imagine. Another one, the Liquid Sky OST from the movie Liquid Sky. Another one, EP/LP called Waterland by a synth pop band called Cloud9, Netherlands, 1985. Maybe the next one a little bit more well known. These next few should be pretty well known to people that like EBM and whatnot, industrial music, but Cabaret Voltaire's Covenant, Sword, and Arm of the Lord was really big in that time period for me. Borkija, who I believe are a Slovenian band. Love is Colder Than Death. I think the original title's in Slovenian, and I dare not attempt to pronounce that. Carrie Limer, or Kay Limer's Period of Review from 85, and then Waterland from 1983. Those were super big, just in a sense of how I kind of wanted the synths to have breadth. And then self-titled from Liaisons Dangereuses, I think that's French. Yeah, that one was super big too. So yeah, those were definitely separate enterprises, those two albums. But yeah, working on them kind of at the same time, one informing the other maybe in ways that I didn't realize when I was making them, but maybe the listener can hear that. So yeah, that's kind of the story there.
Can you tell me about your memories in high school?
Yeah, high school for me was pretty much what it's like for everyone in America. Everyone was wearing leather, and the teachers had whips, and when you get the question wrong, everyone would hide under the desks while she, gave you your punishment. We all had crushes on, like, the lunch ladies and the janitors and stuff, and we wrestled every single day in gym class. Gym class was 3 hours long. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. High school was, I think a lot of people in America are pretty traumatized by it. It feels like jail to them, and that's not really a hyperbolic way to think about it. For me, I don't know. I was kind of a loner. I didn't really fit in with the jocks or the people that were going to become doctors and mathematicians or whatnot. But yeah, I was a loner. I liked music. I liked hanging out with, like, the kids that were into fashion and photography and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I went to high school in New York State, and not New York City, a city called Rochester. And yeah, it was all right.
Well, Johnny, thank you for your time. It was really nice talking with you.